Do I already have 3 sketchbooks? Yes. Are any of them finished? Not even close. Did that stop me from buying 2 new sketchbooks? Clearly not, because here we are. My old ones are just cheap sketchbooks you can get at the dollar store. Then I have this big guy that I mainly use to do collage style art. The spine on this one is starting to come apart, and I still have a little under half of it left to fill, and the blank space on the front is so I can write when I started and finished. Getting into my new sketchbooks, the first one is this mixed media heavyweight paper sketchbook. I did already do a quick marker swatch to test bleed through. I like that this one has the perforated edge so I can rip out pages if I want, and the paper is super thick so I should be able to paint on my sketchbook without it warping the paper. So I'm super excited for this one. This next one is literally the size of my hand. I've been wanting a travel size sketchbook for a while, and I love that this one has the elastic around it. One thing that did bother me is that when I opened it, the first 2 pages were kind of connected weirdly, so I will probably end up just gluing those 2 pieces together. I usually leave the first page blank, but eventually I might try to come up with an intro page for my sketchbooks. This one also includes a little bookmark in it, which I find pretty handy. I've never had one with that. But yeah, those are my new sketchbooks. Now let's get to decorating. For this one, I'm going to start by just painting it all white to cover up the letters and pictures. Then I was thinking of doing something with acrylic markers. I don't use those very often, so I figured that would be fun. Also, I found sketchbook number 4 and it was pretty much empty. Then I got everything set up to paint. I did use water out of my water bottle because I did not feel like walking to the kitchen. So I just start putting paint, base coat all over, you know the deal, cool transition, blah blah blah. So I didn't really have a plan going into this, but I picked up my pencil and my brain said jellyfish. So that's what I went with. I drew this first one that you're seeing and I did not like it. I do end up erasing it. I end up going with 2 jellyfish, one more across the top, and then there's gonna be one more vertical along the side. You'll see. Also, I should let you know, these are just my rough sketches. I do kind of go off sketch in the end. So as you can see, the reason why I left the space at the bottom is so I can kind of label my sketchbook. A lot of people do like sketchbook number 1, sketchbook number 2, and I just go all over the place with my sketchbooks, so I just labeled it mixed media sketchbook, then November 2024 for when I'm starting it, and space for when I'm finished. So I should have seen the signs that the paint was going to chip and not be good on this because my kneaded eraser was chipping and peeling, but I just did my best to erase my sketch. Now the exciting part, I get to pick my colors. Blue felt pretty obvious for the background, and then I don't really know what made me decide on green and pink for the jellyfish, but that's what I went with. All of the paint markers separate when I let them sit, so I have to prep all of them before starting. So I think I was really excited to start painting because I don't know why I did the jellyfish first before the background. It ended up causing so much extra work later on, but you'll see that once I get there. So I ended up having to change some of my colors that I picked originally, because they're dry, despite the fact that they are full and I've barely used them. So I'll have to figure out a way to fix that. But I actually didn't mind how the different colors that I ended up picking looked, so it's all good. Okay, this is where I start to get a little frustrated because when it dried, it started cracking. I just hoped it would hold up till the end because I am going to be covering it up with Mod Podge anyways. So for now, as you see, I just covered up the spot that had peeled off. My plan for the blue is to have it from a gradient from lighter to darker to make it look like how the ocean gets like darker the further down you go. But of course the marker had to be dried out, so I got similar colors in my regular paint. I'm honestly surprised at how long my patience lasted trying to avoid painting on the jellyfish and paint just in between the gaps. Eventually I give up, as you'll see, and I just painted blue all over because it was pretty transparent anyways, so I could still see all my original work. And this is what I meant by it was going to cost me a lot of extra work because then I had to go back over my jellyfish a second time. Down where I left blank for the dates, I just colored in with a light blue in hopes that they might look like bubbles. And then I just went crazy adding smaller bubbles all over the cover. I felt like the green blended in too much to the light blue, so I changed it to the yellowy orange. Then I just let it sit for a few hours to let it fully dry before I added Mod Podge. The cracks did get a little worse, but it was fine. I had an almost empty bottle of Mod Podge I wanted to use up, and there was a giant Mod Podge booger. So there wasn't nearly as much in there as I thought. Look at that. Gross. Good thing I had another full bottle. Also, the old one did leave a few chunkies that I had to get out. That was also kind of gross. here is the final results of this one. I do really love how it turned out. I'm not trying to bore you, so we're jumping right into the next sketchbook. I'm taking a different route with this one because I really want to use some stickers. So I pulled out my tackle box of stickers and I just pulled out all of the packs that I thought I might want to use potentially. Once again, I don't really have a plan going into it, but I'm just going to go through all my stickers and find ones out of each pack that I like or I think might look good on the sketchbook. Each pack of stickers have very different vibes, so I just started placing them all around until I found something that I liked. So for the front, I ended up going for this Alice in Wonderland theme, and then on the back, I don't really know what happened. It kind of went a completely different theme. I just wanted the end sticker on there. It's whatever. And here it is all finished. I ended up adding this little ghost charm. I thought he was pretty cute. And that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Bye for now.